The Axim Government Hospital, located in the Nzema East municipality of the Western Region, was established more than 90 years ago. The facility has and continues to be of immense support to several communities located within the Nzema East municipality. However, one of the critical units of the hospital, which is its theatre, set up some 40 years back, has never seen any major renovation. The roof of the facility leaks badly, and whenever it rains, working in the theatre becomes almost impossible, as Manuel Ababio explains.
Renovation, a turnover, one, so ceiling leak.
Okay.
Or leak in situ kesipa, phone ring offer walls, the onion private market as I did see one offer walls, no before.
Dilapidated equipment are visible everywhere in the theatre. The hospital's only sterilization room is out of order for months.
Machines or friend autoclave. Autoclave na yedi operation. I'm an important my operation, but autoclave no I say the entomb you find your one. Entomb find your one. Now your Kakabi or say I can see my yedi, but last week Kakaba Kunso say this is an Yoman Yazikos it Martin the chorus. Now 1 year in Yomana my them know the tomb a Juma.
In charge of the theatre, Emmanuel.
That is an excerpt from our visit to the facility last year, when the 40 years theatre was on the edge of collapsing. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. I have arrived here at the Axim Government Hospital, only to see one of the critical units of the hospital closed down, that is the theatre. This time, the theatre has become a skeleton, virtually empty, but its dilapidated nature can easily be seen. Principal Health Service Administrator of the hospital, Domi Gospel, describes the situation as unfortunate.
Where we are currently used to be the operating theater of the hospital. It looks empty, as everyone can see, because the structure is being shut down temporarily for renovation works. That is how come it looks very empty and probably wretched. This comes as a result of the fact that this hospital, being one of the oldest ones in the region, having been established as far back as 1925, have not seen any major rehabilitation or facelifting project. Consequent to that, most of the structures have become weak, dilapidated, so to speak, especially where we are now, the theater. And as professionals, we sent an SOS out there that if nothing is done about it, we cannot continue to work in an environment where we feel unsecured, very unsafe, not only for ourselves, but for the lives of the people we bring here to operate upon.
He explains the challenges of atmospheric air finding its way into the theatre during operations, a situation very harmful to the patients.
Meaning from where we bring people, put them on the operating table to operate upon them. Though thankful to God that lives were not lost as a result of working in this very appalling condition, that is not to say that it is anything to write home about. So as you can see, the structure is such that this place is being closed with a wooden frames and a louver blades with these openings from outside. That makes atmospheric air or air from outside get direct access to the operating room. Something we all know medically is not acceptable. But that is the condition in which we were finding ourselves. So the idea now is to close this and make it such that it can befit the modern trend of all operating theaters, not allowing atmospheric air to come in. We'll close it with aluminum glazed doors and make sure that over here, it used to be only one centralized theater for both minor and major operations. But now we wanted it in such a way that we can have two theaters, both one minor, one major, so that even in the unlikely event that two critical cases arises at the same time, they could be well taken care of. As we move from here,
The roof leaks badly. Dummy Godswill takes me to other parts of the skeletal theater.
that's where we are now is the doctor's room. This is supposed to be the office of the surgeon, who is in charge of this hospital and who does all the operations. If you look at this environment, I do not think that it befits even somebody's kitchen. But this is where the surgeon has to do with as an office. You can look at the ceilings leaking very badly. So when it rains, the whole place becomes flooded. We have to scoop water out of the place, and they make use of this place. And this is how the whole structure is. Anytime it rains, nothing is done here. We have to take time to get the water out and disinfect the whole place before anything could be done. So the situation may not be different from here than any other place. The doors, this is the type of door that are fitted all over the place. So it goes to speak the condition, the deplorable condition in which people who are willing to serve God, nation, and country are prepared to work. We have been in this situation for a number of years now. And we have gotten to a point where we think that the authorities out there must know what is happening.
The hospital recorded 2 maternal mortalities last year, but has already recorded 2 in the first quarter of this year, a situation which has compelled the staff of the hospital to turn the neonatal intensive care unit of the hospital into a theater for emergency cases such as cesarean.
That is where we are referring our cases to. One major thing I would like viewers out there and whosoever is listening to our plight to avail their mind to is the economic situation of the people we are catering for. Majority of the people here are fisher folks, and they are seasonal workers. When the season goes off, my oh my, it is very difficult for such people to even get 1 cedi 50 pesos, which is a taxi fare from the community to the hospital. We are very thankful, though, to the fact that majority of them are NHIS card holders, and for that matter, have some financial security for the care we give them. We have situations where we refer people only to find out the following morning that they are not able to go because of the financial conditions there. They are not able to go. Our condition today has even been exacerbated by the fact that the national ambulance that helps us, we are all aware, got involved in a gory accident at Biahu, one of the suburbs close to Takrade. So we don't even have an ambulance.
The hospital, which conducted about 990 operations in 2017, now uses a makeshift structure as its theatre, posing a health risk to patients. I was ushered into this critical emergency created theatre, and even that was a mess. Betty Holm-Graves is the Deputy Director, Nursing Services of the hospital.
This place was actually used for NICU, a neonatal intensive care unit. So we had to relocate the theater people to this place. And it's like all this place, there's a leakage all over. And as you can see, we'll scrub up from just from here, and then you operate here. And this is the anesthetist machine, and this is the theater table. It's not spacious enough for the theater operation. And we actually set up this place for emergency cases. In any other cases, we have to refer them to the sister facility. So we are managing this side for the meantime. So we anticipate that at least they will finish up the other side on time so that everything gets on normal.
Within an estimated period of 4 months, if nothing is done, then your guess is as good as mine. We would be counting number of deaths recorded, as only one emergency case can be handled for now. Olivia Amache is the first person to be operated at the emergency theatre.
I want to do so. Nti anka watisa hona kakra mahena anka yepe. Operation room hona de menji ni de nkrofo be tu oye ya obotum waye no. Nti sanka wa be mu kakra mahena anka oye.
This is a big worry to community leaders. Awulai Atibrukusu is Paramount Chief of Lower Axim in the Nzima East Municipality. The hospital requires an amount of 250,000 Ghana cedis for the refurbishment of the theatre.
It's so unfortunate things have happened in the house, but the information never reached me so early. So when around somewhere June, July last year, when I got to know of the situation, I didn't know it was to that bad stage. So when I made that there shouldn't be any air, the ventilation was so poor to the standard. All they have to do is to pull down the roof so as to make sure the ventilation is closed, because I have to do additional wall, that is, I have to increase the walls so that when the new roof is done, it will close all the gaps. So after looking through, bringing the expert to have a look at it, the whole cost got to around 235, which of course we have to run it up to the other 250. So now we have only 50 to take care of the most serious case of it is that the whole place is closed. So now they are using one single room for only emergency operations.
But even this is undermined by the lack of funds, despite an initial seed of 50,000 Ghana cedis by the Rigward Company. The facility, despite its challenges, recorded 830 deliveries, 141 cesarean sessions, and 990 surgeries, all in 2017.
That is why we all should come to. That is why other philanthropists and other benevolent persons should all come in to help to put that thing into good use. I should say, the money is there. It should not take us more than 2 3 months to put it up. The putting it up is no matter. The matter is the money that we need to do. We are all trying our best to provide our quota.
So where you see me standing was previously the NICU, but because of situation, they have to change it to the theater, and it is used for emergency cases. So imagine that we have 2 people who need to be operated on, then they need to save one and then leave the other. And this situation can only be kept if the old theaters is being refurbished again. For Joy News, I am in Athalia Konsa, Axim Government Hospital.